You're right guys, in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Triton TRA001 Router. Now I brought this about a couple of years ago now, so it's well overdue for review. I'm not a professional by any means, I'm just an average Joe after all, but I hope you find this review helpful. Let's start with what's included with the router itself. There is a 1/2 inch and a 12mm collet. I would have sooner had the 1/4 inch collet instead of the 12mm, but never mind. There is a spanner for changing the collets and router bits. It's angled to make it easier to use. It actually makes a big difference. Also included is an above table height adjustment handle. This makes using the router in a router table very easy. Then there is the router guide base and fence. Now for some technical specifications. The router has a 2400 watt motor, it has a plunge range from 0 to 68mm, and it weighs 7.7 kilos. At the front and back of the router you have easy access to the brushes. On the side you'll find an on-off safety switch. I really like the design of this switch. It's covered by a sprung door that needs to be retracted in order for you to power on the router. It remains open until you turn the switch off, then the door covers it again to prevent accidental switch-ons. Up top you'll find the speed control. The router also has electronic speed control that really helps a lot too. The spring used for the plunge mechanism is housed under this cap. On the base of the router there is 3 depth stop settings. They can be easily changed and they click into place. The stop itself is sprung loaded, which makes it very easy to deploy one-handed. This also ensures it fully hits the stop you have set. On the router handle there is a button that when pushed in allows you to quickly raise and lower the router. On the inside of the same handle there is a mechanism for more accurate raising and lowering of the router. Up top there is a knob which offers an even more accurate method of lowering and raising the router, so it's very easy to dial in the depth exactly. This is all made possible by the router's rack and pinion height adjustment. Remember to lock the height of the router before using it. If you hang the power cable over the edge, then the router is very stable when turned upside down. This is great for changing bits and adding the guide base. On the base there are 2 captive bolts that lock the guide base into place. I really like this method of attaching the base. I don't have to worry about losing the bolts. It's also really quick to remove the base. The fence slides onto the guide base relatively easily. It can be a little tight at times though. It is stiff to move, but this is a good thing really. When you have the fence in place it won't move on you while you lock it down. Also on the guide base there is a place to add a nail or pin to pivot the router round to make circles and arches. I would have liked the hole to be larger so I could use a thicker nail or pin, but it does work well. To change the collet and bits, it's very easy with this router. The spindle automatically locks in place when the router is fully plunged. There is no need for a second spanner and the awkwardness of trying to hold the router steady. If you've ever used a router before, you'll know how great this feature is. While the spindle is locked, you can't switch the router on. The safety door can't be retracted at all. This prevents any damage to the motor. Changing the base is very easy. 4 screws hold it in place. The base to my router arrived damaged, but it isn't a big deal, I can glue it back together. There are a variety of router table insert plates to choose from, and of course you can make your own too. I chose the Craig plate as it comes pre-drilled for the Triton router, and it has space for the above table height adjustment handle. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description to where you can get it if you're interested. You need slightly longer screws to fit it, but it comes with those included. Now to use the height adjustment handle, you just feed it through the insert plate and make sure it engages with the adjuster underneath. You can then easily adjust the height from above the table. You can also easily change bits above the table too, again a great feature. The router has a soft start which is actually very useful. You don't get a sudden burst of power when you switch it on. It is also quite quick to come to a stop after turning the motor off. Overall, I'm really impressed with this router. There's literally only 2 downsides that I've really got with it personally. Now, the main one was how awkward the fence is on the guide base to actually fit. It slides on okay, but then it is quite stiff to get into place and to keep it square. Now, that is kind of a downside, but as I mentioned in the video earlier, it's also kind of handy as well, because when you do get it into position, you haven't got to worry about it moving and moving out of alignment as soon as you start to lock it into place. So it depends which way you look at it really, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. This is a very very big router and it does weigh quite a bit, so it's not really suited for doing the smaller jobs. You can do them, it just makes it more awkward lugging a big router around just to flush trim a little bit of laminate, for example. I'd probably end up getting a trim router later down the line, something cheap. But then going on to the positives, the size is a positive just because of how powerful it is. Literally everything that I've thrown at it is coped with it perfectly. I've had no problems. I've routed walnut, hard maple, ash, which is really hard, as well as all the usual stuff like plywood, MDF, pine. It's no trouble to that. You can even hear the electronic speed control kick in if it starts to struggle a little bit. You don't ever notice it. It's really well done. I absolutely love the built-in height adjustment mechanism that you can do from above the table if you fit it in a router table, because that's how I mainly use mine. It's fitted in my router table, so it means I don't have to spend more money on a fancy router lift to enable me to lift it above the table. My old one, I had to reach underneath, manually push the router up, hold it into place while I lock it, check that the bit's the right height, and it was just a nightmare. With this, I can check the height and just wind it up, raise it to where I need it, lower it, change the bits from above the table. It's really useful for that. Using it out of the table, the rack and pinion mechanism works brilliantly. It's a great feature. Being able to dial in the plunge distance of the router and fix it into place and the depth stop, just everything about it. Honestly, I really can't recommend this router enough. It's a brilliant bit of kit, and it's one of those purchases that I'm glad that I've done it now, and I won't need to upgrade my router ever. I think I'll never need a new one. If this one was to break, I suppose I'd have to get a new one, but I can't see any other router surpassing my expectations of this one. So if you're in the market for a new router, and especially a large router like this one that can handle almost all jobs, then I can highly recommend it. So if you are interested, I'll leave an affiliate link down in the description below to where you can get one. So that's it really. All I can say is just that it's a brilliant router, and it far surpassed my expectations of it. If you've got any questions at all, anything, just leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer you. I answer all comments as always. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button and click the little bell icon next to it and get notifications. That way you'll be sure to never miss a video whenever I upload one. I do loads of different videos, not just these reviews. I do quick tips and project videos too, so I'm sure there'll be something that you enjoy. If you know somebody who's also in the market for a router, maybe consider sharing this video with them. They might find it helpful too. Now I'm going to put some links up on the screen, so if you're interested in any more of my reviews, you can click to watch the playlist here, or if you'd sooner see some of my build videos, you can watch this playlist here. And as always, if you're not subscribed, please click the circle in the centre and that'll get you subscribed to my channel. Thank you all for watching again.